Hello and welcome back to Soulpreneur Scaling Stories. Today I have something very special for you. We're talking about me. So I promise you, obviously I'm going to bring it back to you, but this is a very important lesson from my business that will 100% relate to you. So the theme of what we're talking about is when I realized I had accidentally become the assistant in my own business instead of the CEO. And if you have ever felt really stretched thin by client work, stuck in the day to day grind, or wondering how you got to this point where you feel like your business is actually running you, this episode is for you. So let's dive in. All right. So we are rewinding to about 3 years ago when I was an OBM, retainer clients, had like 4 retainer clients, something like that, fully booked, making my income goals on the outside. Everything looked great. And my clients were happy. Everything was going well, quote unquote, on the outside. However, behind the scenes was a different story. My brain, I felt like I was in the middle of a hurricane. I felt like I was being pulled in so many different directions because although as an OBM, you only have a few clients, there's so much that pops up day to day, minute to minute, like things like that, because I'm the one in charge of everything. So I would be jumping from putting out one fire for one client to going over here, doing launch tasks and making last minute changes, helping the team or another client, overseeing automations, email automations for the other client, putting together a strategy for a membership for another client, etc., etc. Everything felt really chaotic. And it wasn't because I was unorganized. It was because that's the nature of hourly retainer work when you're doing these general things. And I was available for everything. I was the person in charge of the running of these people's businesses. And that's what it was, right? I didn't make this up. That's like what an OBM does when you do general OBM work. And initially, when I did this, and for a while, it felt good, right? Like I felt like I have great responsibility. I was doing a great job. The fact that I was available for my clients for whatever they needed. And because I was flexible, I was serving them so well. However, over time, it was something that got to me and really made a difference in my own life, my own business, and how I was functioning really day to day. There got to a point where it wasn't my business anymore, right? I was really just operating inside of other people's businesses without making mine a priority. So let's dive in even a little more and get real with some of the details because I know that some of you are living the same exact thing right now because I talked to you and I know how it is. I actually, I had one client who at that time would leave me daily 10-minute, no joke, voice notes on WhatsApp. Nothing like urgent requests, things like that. It was like stream of consciousness that I had to sift through, that I had to listen to, that I had to respond to thoughtfully, because that's what was expected. I don't know how she processed things. I had, other people who were amazing clients, like lovely person, but I had other clients who would text me, or message me on Slack, quick questions, but maybe like a bunch at a time. And it would turn into deeper things, bigger things, because it always does. Other ones who would do last minute changes and, oh, I want to launch this thing next week, you know what I'm talking about, right? So because of all the things going on and all of the details in doing this type of work, I couldn't turn my brain off. Even when I wasn't working, even if I'm just watching TV, like whatever, I was always constantly thinking, oh, did I miss something? What was going on? There was a lot to manage. I was juggling everybody else's priorities except for my own. And the worst part was that I didn't even have the mental space to fully process what was going on and how I felt about it and how it was affecting me. I was exhausted, I was numb, I was functioning, but I was not thriving. And then came the breaking point. This was all happening in the time when I was preparing to move from Miami to Spain. I had again the full client roster, everything looked successful. And I moved. I didn't even take a day off except for flying. And I got to Spain and I realized that, oh my God, I am so burnt out. I had at that time a couple of client contracts that naturally ended. And, when that happens, it's okay. Like, we're good, whatever. I would normally go and find more clients. But during this time, I froze. I couldn't do it. I sat at my computer. I would see things come through and I couldn't bring my fingers to the keyboard. I knew that I should be doing this, and I just couldn't do it. And that's when it hit me. I was running a business that wasn't my business. It wasn't what I set out to be doing. I wasn't in the driver's seat. I was being driven by everybody else's needs, schedules, energy, expectations. And even though I was good at it, even though I could manage it, even though my clients were happy, it got to me. I ended up being miserable. And that was the moment that everything changed. So I did something radical. I said, I'm not going to look for new clients. I need to see what is going on. I can't go on like this. I can't continue. This is not sustainable. I stopped asking, okay, what do my clients need? What does everybody else need? And I started asking, what do I need? And in this process of taking a step back, having some breathing room, and really diving in, what I had realized was that the thing that actually lights me up, I mean, this is not a surprise because I'm here doing this, it was coaching. Now, coaching is not a brand new idea. It has always been a thing that I have loved. I went to a PhD program, a doctoral program in clinical psychology. I was doing that for 7 years. And when I had wanted to or decided to leave my 9 to 5 and was like, okay, I want to work online, one of the things that I thought about was life coaching. And then I was like, I don't know how to do this. Let me start out as a BA. And then even when I got my OBM certification, shortly after, I was like, I want to start coaching. I started doing some coaching on the side, but I didn't let myself go all the way in. Right. I said, okay, OBM is the safer path. Like, I'm good at that. It's more stable, et cetera, et cetera. I'm good at it. It doesn't light me up as much, but that's fine. Right. Deep down, I knew, despite all of that, when I do this, when I am coaching, I felt alive. When I had some experience coaching at that time when I first started, I was like, oh, this is amazing, right? Time flew. I had all these ideas and it felt like me. So during this burnout time after moving to Spain, I took an intuition course from a friend of mine that was amazing. I had slowed down enough that I could actually hear my inner voice, the one that I had been tuning out in favor of everything else, everyone else, everything else that was going on. I started working on rebuilding self-trust. I started believing in myself that what actually lit me up was the thing that mattered, that I could build a business that was both around my natural gifts and that supported the lifestyle that I wanted. And once I made that decision that this was inevitable, that this was possible, everything started shifting. So today, my business feels completely different. And I'm not talking about just in structure or revenue, but I'm talking about energy. When I wake up in the morning, I'm excited. I love seeing my email. I love looking at my Slack messages. My workday is more spacious, and it's not necessarily because of coaching versus service provider being done for you, service provider. It's because of the business structure. I feel strategic. I feel focused. I feel grounding because I am not spreading myself so thin. And the reason this is because of a couple of things. One is that, again, my energy is being supported. I built a business that supports my natural strengths and my natural workflow and things that that come easy to me, things that I love to do. The second reason is because of how I structured the business. And that is by having one core offer. I have other things, but the main thing is having a core offer that is strategic, that is able to be systematized, that all of the things, right, that I can do and do easily, and it's not hourly. And this is also what I help my clients do. And again, it's not like I'm saying, don't be a done for you service provider. I'm saying structure it in a way that supports you. And that is not, I will die on this hill, that is not hourly work because it is not sustainable to do that. So I have a core offer. I have a business rooted in my strengths, rooted in my passions. I get to blend my psychology expertise with my soul aligned business strategy. And my clients come to me specifically for the magic that I create, for the transformation that I am here to deliver. Because I am not reacting. I'm not doing things I think I should do. I am literally creating from my soul. And when I find myself working during off work hours, it's not because I have to, it's because I want to, because I genuinely love it. And this is what alignment looks like: calm, clear, and confident. So if you feel like you are the assistant in your own business, if you feel like you are reactive and not proactive, if you felt like you're building success or you've built success, quote unquote, but it doesn't actually feel good, if your business feels like, ooh, I don't know if I can actually sustain this because I'm tired, you're not doing it wrong. You just haven't built your business around your personal unique magic yet. And this unique magic is the work that feels effortless to you, but it's wildly valuable to your clients. It's the thing that people thank you for. It's what lights you up. It's what sets you apart. And it doesn't have to be something like crazy that nobody's ever done before. It can literally be email management. If you create a system and you're like, I love this, right? It can be that. And it's not just about feeling good, although it will. It's building around your magic is the smartest business move that you can make. Because when you're in your unique magic, when you're in your zone of genius, your results improve, your clients are happier, your confidence skyrockets, you feel amazing, you stop blending in, and you start becoming the choice for your clients. And life is so much happier. Trust me, I know. So that is my story, from scattered OBM to soul aligned coach, from assistant in my own business to intentional CEO. And it can be your story too. So if that resonates with you, I have something special that is free. You can grab my premium offer starter kit, where I walk you through the exact steps to identify your unique magic and turn it into a premium offer that scales effortlessly. You'll find the link in my show notes. And this is a framework that I use with my clients to go from burnt out to booked out to fulfilled and fully aligned. So I would love to hear any thoughts you've had on this episode, how it's landed with you. Come and chat with me on Instagram. That's also linked below. It's Soulful Biz Coach Andrea. Also, let me know what your unique magic is if you have discovered it through this episode. So until next time, keep on growing and keep on living in alignment. And remember that you are not meant to be an assistant in your own business. You are meant to lead something extraordinary. So I will see you guys next time.